another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate if you jump on here live here on this Saturday night. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please do so. It takes about 2 seconds and it's free. Helps the channel out tremendously. And also, please share the video on all social media platforms. Coming up about 1 week from right now, I'll just be finishing up SWA's next show. I'll be there Saturday night, April the 12th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Bell time will be 7 o'clock. Hey there, Austin. Glad to have you here. So come on out and be with us as we continue to build for our next big show, which comes up in July. But tonight, I want to talk some wrestling, more specifically some AEW, because AEW's Dynasty comes up tomorrow night from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, don't ask me to try to pronounce the name of the arena. It's one of those arenas that's changed names due to sponsorship 3-4 times. The old names I could say, the name this one has now, I'm not even going to attempt to say. I would butcher it like crazy. And life is going fantastic, Austin, as always. So we'll just say Dynasty comes your way tomorrow night from Philadelphia. Now, of course, 8 o'clock is when the main show starts, but there will be a pre-show, or as they call it, a 0 hour. And I have not watched it yet, Austin. We've got 10 matches altogether, so that's what we'll go with. If there's any additional matches, they're not listed, so I'll go with the 10 that are listed. And if there is any matches on the 0 hour pre-show, which I'm sure there will be, don't know which ones that'll be. Kyle Fletcher is going one-on-one with Mark Briscoe. This match is part of the Owen Hart Men's Tournament quarter final. And I do need to get Triller TV, Austin. I've been meaning to. I just keep forgetting. Mercedes Moné is going one-on-one with Julia Hart. And this is part of the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. This is a quarterfinal. The Hurt Syndicate versus Big Bill and Brian Keith for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole for the TNT Championship. This match has no time limit and no outside interference. Hey there, Gray. Glad to have you here. Hey there, Milani. Glad to have you here. Ricochet versus Kenny Omega versus Speedball Bailey in a triple threat match for the AEW International Championship. Milani, if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Tonight I'm talking some wrestling, but I talk college football, the NFL, college basketball, some NBA, wrestling, of course, some NASCAR, some Major League Baseball. You just never know. Hey there, Anuvuff. Glad to have you here. Hey there, Jalen. Glad to have you here. And everything is fantastic. Jalen, how are things going in your neck of the woods? John Moxley versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. Milani, since you are new here, let me go ahead and tell you to please subscribe. It takes about 2 seconds. And give the video a like and a thumbs up. And share the video on all social media platforms. Now, a lot of people, hey there, One Piece, glad to have you here. A lot of people are blaming John Moxley for AEW's TV ratings not being very good, and I think everybody knows by now that I'm not a John Moxley fan at all. Never have been. Even as Dean Ambrose, I've just never liked him. He's just not my cup of tea. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she likes him. But to each their own. Me personally, I'm just not a John Moxley fan. I've just never liked him. He's more of a brawler, and I'm an old school wrestling fan, so I like guys that wrestle. But if you like the brawling type, then he's your guy. But I'm not going to sit here and say that he's the reason why their TV ratings are down because ever since they started coming on TV, they've never had good TV ratings. So it's not like they had great TV numbers and Moxley won the belt and it dropped. It's never been that good. So it's about where it normally is. So they're not really growing, but they're not losing anybody. If people have Prime Video, can you still watch pay per views or you do pay more? Also, that's a good question. You'd have to ask somebody that has Prime Video. I used to like Chris Jericho for years, even back in the WCW days. I was a Chris Jericho fan for a long time. But I think now it's time for him to just go to the house. The last few matches I've watched by him, he just looks unorthodox. He looks slow. Looks like he's out of gas. Looks like he can't hardly move anymore. And to me, once you get to that point, there's no point in being in the ring. But he's done so much for the wrestling business that nobody's going to make him go home. But the last few times I've watched him wrestle, he looks like he gets wore out walking to the ring. So I think it's time for him to go to the house. Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne for the Women's World Championship. Chris Jericho versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This is title versus mask. Now, that's a match that I personally have never liked. You know, they've been around for years where it's like career versus mask or title versus mask or mask versus mask. And unless it's a feud you're doing with somebody and, you know, they went away for a while and come back and it's supposed to be a different guy under a mask and the mask comes off and it's the same guy. Unless it's something like that, that's something I just don't care for because a lot of times, like with guys like Bandito, that's their career. They wear a mask. So for them to take it off, you're pretty much destroying their career as they know it because they like to keep their personal life and their professional life separate. One of the worst things WCW ever did was take the mask off of Rey Mysterio because this day and time with social media, even though that was 25 or so years ago, you can't fix it. Anybody can go back anytime and find that match because it's all over the internet now and Google and social media and everywhere. And, you know, you see guys like, you know, LaParca and guys like that that are around forever, Ultimate Dragon, and they never take their mask off because it's who they are. Hey there, Santos. Glad to have you here. And Austin, I've never been a fan of the Hardy Boys, neither one of them. Now, if I've got to like one over the other, I guess I would say I like Jeff a little better than Matt, but I've just never liked the Hardy Boys, which is in turn why I can't stand the Young Bucks because to me the Young Bucks are a Hardy Boys ripoff. That's all they are. They're trying to be the modern day Hardy Boys, and if I've never liked the Hardy Boys, I'm sure not going to like somebody that's trying to be the modern day Hardy Boys. The Young Bucks are terrible. And then we have Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. This match is part of the Owen Hart men's tournament quarterfinal. So AEW Dynasty comes your way tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time is when the main card will start from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And if you watched SmackDown last night, how did you feel about the, I call it curveball, finding out what the big secret was that CM Punk wanted from Paul Heyman because, you know, there's been all kind of rumors about, you know, what it was. And then I think what it turned out to be is probably something that nobody was expecting, which is good because you don't want it to be predictable. And that was definitely not predictable. So now you got to sit back and wait and see what happens next. Austin, I was a fan of the NWO when they started it, when you just had the very beginnings of the NWO when Hall and Nash came in and you had the black and white NWO. But then, that expanded to 45 doggone people, and then you had the red and black and the BWO and the PWO and everything else. That was stupid. But when it first started, when Hall and Nash first got there and it was just 3 or 4 people, it was great. You think he will go with CM Punk? Paul Heyman will. Well, yeah, that's what happened as of last night. But now you got to sit back and see what happens next. Is he going to stay with CM Punk, or is he going to turn on CM Punk and go back with Roman Reigns, or will he go with Seth Rollins, or will Paul Heyman do what he's done in the past and just walk off and leave and be off TV for a while? But now you got to sit back and see what comes next. And of course, WrestleMania weekend's now 2 weeks away, so I'll be talking more about that as it gets closer. I've already did one video about WrestleMania, but this year it's later than what it normally is, so it seems like it's taking forever for it to get here. But any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I'm looking for someone to help milking on my dairy farm, but you must work well with udders. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.